Guys, so I am going to be scrapbooking a photo today and I'm just choosing between those two, and I decided to go with the one of me with my family when I was little. So I'm flipping through all of my pages trying to figure out a background that goes good with the picture. Because the picture has a lot of blues in it, I was trying to decide if I wanted to do something neutral or something that had blues in it. So it takes me a while to actually decide on a background paper. That's what takes me the longest amount of time when I'm doing a layout. So I think I'm going to go with this background paper, but I actually wind up scratching that idea altogether once I realized that the color just doesn't really mesh well with the blues, and even if I went with like a blue background underneath the picture, like if I matted the picture on a blue background, that I wouldn't really like how it looked. And then I tried to go pink and I was like, that's not really going to work. So I decide that I'm finally actually going to mat it on white, but I take out another sheet of paper and I decide I'm writing down right now the date and everything, so when I'm done, if I want to journal on it, I know what to journal. So now I'm using my Monotombo multi-glue, I think, to glue it on a piece of white cardstock. I'm sorry that I'm out of frame right now. And so now I'm waiting for it to dry, and I'm roughly cutting around it so then I could take my Fisker's paper cutter to cut straight lines around the photo. So around this time, I actually realized that I kind of hated this background and the way that it looked with the photo. So I wanted to switch to this background, which is a glittery polka dot, but I thought it was way too busy and there wasn't really much I could do with it if I wanted to put blocks of color on it. And I wasn't really feeling it, and I was actually, since this is my first scrapbook layout on camera, I actually was really nervous about it because I wanted it to come out good. So it took me a really long time to decide what I wanted to do, so I apologize, you're going to have to watch that. So I took out my big cardstock pack of all different colors, and I'm thinking I'm going to cut that polka dot in half and kind of do half a page, and then I totally decide against it and scratch that all together and pick out this light blue background that goes with the blues in the picture. So I realized that I really want to use this zigzag sort of thing, and I'm going through my Pocket Life or whatever that collection is of those little journaling cards, and I'm trying to pick out certain things that I want to put behind it for layering. And I'm trying to pull out the blues and the different sea greens of the background paper. So I'm looking at the photo and I realize while I'm going through it that you'll see later in the video, one of my cousins is wearing a yellow shirt, so I decide I kind of want to play off of that. So I'm going around the edge of the page and drawing a rough line and adding a few dots here or there. I'm sorry, it's so blurry. I'm taking forever to focus this, but I decided against it. Anyways, so I'm sorry I didn't zoom out all the way. So here I am, I'm just kind of going around the edge of the paper. It's just to give it something else because it is such a plain piece of cardstock, and I did not use a pattern paper because I'm going to want to layer most of my details of it. So here I am playing with some of those journaling cards. I definitely know I don't want to cut it down to make it a perfect square. I do want to keep it with that, I like those rounded corners because it's not such a rectangular layout. So at this point, I actually don't know what I'm doing. I actually think I'm digging for some of my stuff in my stash. I'm sorry, there's actually going to be a lot of breaks in this. So I decided I definitely want to use this zigzag. So I cut it off, and I can't decide if I want to remat the photo onto this or if I'm going to want to cut off a certain section of it. So I'm going back through my cards, and I realize I really want to play off the yellow in that photo, so now I'm flipping over all the double-sided journaling cards, and I decide that I really like this journaling card that has a chevron pattern on the left, and on the bottom it says Love Life. So I cut that strip of like zigzag paper, and it actually, when I start to put it together, I realize that I actually don't like that paper. It's like way too thin, so I'm going to go back and cut out a bigger piece. So here I am flipping through, deciding if I want to actually take a block of another piece of blue, and I decide against it because I think too much plain paper can actually draw away from the picture, but that's just my own opinion. So I don't actually know what I'm doing right now, so just bear with me with this. I might actually be talking. So I actually just stared there for a little while. So this one says, I actually can't remember what that one says, but I think I'll zoom in on it later. So now I'm trying to decide if the gold will work with the yellowy kind of thing, and I realize that I don't really think it will, so I scratched that all together again. So I'm still kind of stuck where I want to use yellow and I want to use blue, but I'm not entirely sure how I want to incorporate it. So that yellow little journaling card where it is right now, I actually decide that's where I want it, and that's where I cut my bigger piece of zigzag paper. So that's where I decide I actually want the yellow journaling card, and that's what it's going to be in the final piece too. So here I am, and I'm going to cut off that edge, and I realize I don't really want two kind of rounded things right next to each other. So I scratch it all, and I start sliding things back in again. And so what I do is I decide I outlined it with my Micron, I think that's a .03 scrapbooking pen. It is not a slick surface writer, so if you're going to be writing on stickers, I wouldn't suggest this pen. So I tend to like to outline things, and it helps bring them off the paper more. Even though it's not a busy background, I needed to push off of the plain background to make your attention draw to that rather than all of the empty space that I'm going to have. I got this idea from one of the YouTubers I watch. Her name is Mercy Tiara, and I will link that down below. So here I am outlining the photo, and I actually forgot to do it on a piece of paper, so I got writing on my desk, so that sucks. So I decided to put the little blue quote on top rather than on the side and have two rounded things on the side. So here I am taking that sparkly polka dot paper, and I'm rough cut it into a larger rectangle, and I actually really like how this is looking on my page. So this is how I am going to be. So here I am tracing the edge around it, but it's a slick surface because it is glitter, so they had to like put something over it. So that's really not good for a micron pen because it smudges. So I just wouldn't suggest using that. So now I'm digging through all of my embellishments from leftover crafts and stuff because I don't get kits, so everything I kind of have to buy separately when I get paid for my job or I get a coupon. So here I am digging through all of my stuff, and I'm trying to pick out different yellow embellishments that'll bring out the color of the yellow journaling card and also the yellow in his shirt, because I want to bring it out and I don't want all the yellow just to be to the left of my layering. So I'm thinking I want to put that yellow flower up there, which looks really nice and I really like it. Another thing I did is that zigzag piece of paper. It is no longer one piece of paper because I cut it in half because I want it to be shown more in the top and the bottom. So at this point I am trying to figure out where I want to put stuff, and I am cutting more stuff down. Excuse my coughing. I'm sorry, I'm sick. I am trying to figure out where I want to put my title. I don't know if I want it directly under the photos with all the quotes because it's a lot of wording in one little area, and I don't want it to get too word crazy. So here I am gluing everything down. I am so sorry. I am off of the camera frame. So I'm gluing everything down after I took a picture of it on my phone so I will remember where everything goes. And yeah, so that's going to take a while. But I decided to use adhesive foam squares on the back of my photo to bring it up off of the page because of the fact that there are so many different little patterns going on. On the yellow card, there's the chevron on the left and also the words on the bottom and then the lines. On the blue, you can't tell from this view, there's a little graph underneath the quote. So it's actually graph paper. It's actually really cute. There's the glittery polka dots, and then there's also the zigzag. So I wanted to bring it off of the page, one, to give the page some dimension because I didn't want everything to be flat, but also to bring the photo out a little bit more because of the fact that the photo is very similar in color to the rest of the pattern paper. So here I am gluing my yellow journaling card underneath it and putting some extra little dots of glue, and here I am taking off the adhesive backs on the bottom and gluing everything down to make sure it is stuck. And now I am going to be cutting off the edge, I think, and here I am cutting off the edge of that piece of paper, and it actually came up a little bit, so I had to re-glue it, and I am sorry I did not zoom out so you couldn't see it. So I definitely want to put that flower there, and I'm just trying to decide what angle I wanted to put it on. So I wanted to try to use glue dots, but it actually didn't wind up sticking, and I actually wound up moving the flower all together. So now I am sitting here trying to figure out what I want to do in one of the corners to figure out where I'm going to put my title and how I'm going to draw in everything. And then I realized I forgot to put the doily in. So I re-glue the doily actually on the bottom rather than the side because there was more room on the bottom than on the side. And it actually looks much better on the bottom than it did on the side because it does overlap the yellow a little bit. So now I'm going into my washi tape stash, and I decided I'm going to pull out some yellow washi tape, and I'm actually doing it on the top left corner of my layout, but you can't see it. Oh, there, I just moved it. One of the washi tapes is a really pretty yellow floral print, and it has some clear areas where the blue will come through, and the other one is a yellow and clear stripes. So I actually bring the washi tape a little bit over more than I was planning to, but I actually really like it. And you'll see in a little bit, I actually go back into my stash and I pull out some blue, turquoisey blue, sea greeny blue washi tape, and that's what I actually decide to go with when I will layer that over the yellow. Because I thought the yellow actually looked too yellow in that corner, and I needed to tone it down a little bit because it was coming out too much lime yellow rather than the kind of yellow that I used on the journaling card. So here I am pulling out my turquoise blue tape, which is a striped tape and also a polka dotted tape, and it actually blends the whole thing really well together. And I actually thought that I'd be done at that point with that top area, but you'll see later I'll go back in and I'm going to be adding a little flag where I'm going to put the top of my saying, and then the bottom's going to go underneath the photo. So here I'm trying to decide what my title of my page actually is going to be. I had an idea when I first started it, and I definitely wanted to do family because this is my parents and then all of my cousins together. So I take a piece of backing of some, I think it was some sort of sparkly tape, and that's what I used to help line up my stuff. And I decided I want family to go there, but I didn't want it just kind of hanging off of that zigzag blue piece, so I actually go in and I put some washi tape in that area to kind of bring it over. If I was to do anything different about this layout, if it wasn't already done and glued down, I definitely, instead of putting the washi tape horizontally, I would have done it vertically there too, either coming up from the bottom or coming down from the yellow card, and I didn't do that, and I kind of regret it because it the differences of length of the washi tape disappears under the word family, so you can't actually see that it's just pieces of tape and not like pattern paper. So at this point I am off camera because I keep forgetting that I'm actually recording me scrapbooking and it's not just me scrapbooking. So I'm putting the washi tape down, and when I move up you'll see it in a second. This is actually like the 4th or 5th scrapbook I've made since I've taken my YouTube hiatus, but I've actually gotten really good compared to my first one, so that's really exciting, and I'm happy I get to share one of my favorite hobbies with you guys. So I actually decided to go with the black font, which is kind of crazy. If you could see what I did with the washi tape, it kind of disappears under the word family, and you don't actually get the fact that it's washi tape and not just like randomly shoved under there. I wish I fixed it. So I decide that I'm going to take the zigzag piece of paper and I'm going to put it as a flag above the washi tape in the top left corner to make it say "we are" and then "family" on the bottom right corner. So what I do is I am outlining that also, and then this outline is one of the messiest outlines I've ever done because my Micron kept like stopped working since I did it on like the slick surface of the polka dots. So I just mono-tombow multi-glued that flower down because the sticky dot actually wound up being a removable one, so it wasn't actually sticking that well. So I decided I'm going to glue it to the glue dot. So that's what my general layout looks like now. And then I decided I want to do We Are, but then I discovered that We Are is not going to fit on that flag, and I don't want to like rip it off and re-put it down. So now I'm digging through my alphabet sticker stash, which me and my mom have stacked up over the years because my mom's been scrapbooking for a really long time. So I'm looking for the other page that has the W on it of these blue stickers, and I can't find it. So I try to go with these typewriter stickers, which are from Target, and they were for $1. But I actually wind up getting rid of those completely and switching to the sparkling ones because I do wind up finding the other page. So here I outlined those stickers, but it didn't really do much for the layout in general. But then I decided to keep the R in black, but I thought like the We totally disappeared on that flag completely, and I actually hated it so much. So here I am digging through all of my stuff, looking for the other sheet that had the W on it in those dark blue glitter stickers, because I needed also more blue up there to kind of counteract the blue in the washi tape. And there I am trying to stick that flower down, but I'm going to remove it anyway. So I'm going back through, and I eventually I find the other sheet shoved somewhere under a box in my bin of scrapbooking stuff. So those little typewriter stickers peeled off so easily, and I was so excited that I didn't have to recut out that flag. So here I am trying to figure out if I want to do the We vertically or if I want to do it horizontally, and I decided to do it horizontally because I thought vertically it would blend in too much, and so I decided to do it vertically, and it definitely looks much better. I would definitely, if I was to go back into this layout now, I would definitely go back in and add shadows to the We. So it actually turns out in the next few seconds that my camera actually cut the film, so I'm so sorry you guys didn't get to see the ending product of it, of me making it at least, but I wound up gluing everything down, and I added something in the bottom left corner, and I splattered the background like crazy. So these are the close-ups, still shots of everything in actually good lighting. So this is what everything looks like, and I actually really like how the splatter came out. But yeah, so this is my entire layout all together, and I'm glad you guys saw it and you guys got to watch me make it. If you guys want more videos like this, please thumbs up and subscribe to me down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!